Yeah, the quality, it kind of remind me of like an old phone. Sometimes it sounds cool, but I don't know. Um, I want to tell you a quick story about this guy, and I'm probably gonna just upload some of these stories, and then I don't know. I gotta kind of figure out a walk. I I was gonna say a walk around. I gotta figure out something about how to fix this. But this is a story about this guy, and what he did was I was at the library, and this was definitely before I had a car. I probably was in my early 20s, maybe not even that. And I was down at the Minneapolis Public Library. Now, the Minneapolis Downtown Public Library, look, it was upgraded, but not as much as it's upgraded now. So I was up there doing some research, and I probably was up there because I'm thinking that maybe I didn't have the internet at that time, or I don't know. So I was up there. I think I was working on a resume, or just doing my thing. And see, a lot of times what would happen is the library. You remember at one point the library was a place where people would come and would be minds of intellect and minds of learning. You started having a lot of bums and a lot of lames come to the Minneapolis Public Library, specifically the downtown one, because it's a central where you could just be a no account dude and just show up and just kind of kick it. So what folks would be doing, I heard dudes in there rapping. I mean, a lot of it was just flat out embarrassing. So it became a hangout for lames. You know what I'm saying? For them to pass their day. As opposed to and so they just be on the internet looking up BS, or they just be doing. So they had to make a lot of changes to some of these libraries that are in these spots like that. So I'm sitting there minding my business, looking things up on the internet, and let me see if I can find it. There was a white dude. He was upset. Um, there was a white dude where he was off to the side of me, and I guess he was looking something up or doing something. He had these glasses, he had a hat, and he was very noticeable by the way he acted. It was like, okay, something ain't right. You know how like sometimes when you hear about something on the news where you hear about them race soldiers that done, unalived a bunch of black folks or whatever, and then you start looking back at the cameras and see who his connections are, and when you start really looking at what he was doing prior to the attack, you kind of be like, okay, he's like one of those, them little 4chan dudes or whatever. I mean, so he's off to the side of me, and he was doing something on the computer, or he was looking something up. Out of the blue, you know how somebody gets up like they're frustrated? He gets up just randomly. He was sitting to the left of me. He gets up and he writes two thunderbolts on a piece of paper and leaves it on the table. Now, he probably didn't know that I knew what it meant, but this is what it looked like. It looked like this. And as you could see, and I remember it clear as day, he wrote. Now he you couldn't. It wasn't like black and white paper or whatever the case may be, but he wrote something just like that, and I knew exactly what it was. He wrote it, scribbled it. He looked very frustrated when he wrote that symbol, and he got up and he left. Now I continued to mind my own business. I didn't say anything to him. He got up and abruptly left. And I just kept going on about my research and stuff, but I'm kind of looking around and just keeping my surroundings up to par. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that was like I was a lot younger. He looked like he might have been a little older, but he just reminded me of one of them dudes that might just go into a school and do something or whatever. Like he reminded me, he had that same kind of spirit. He looked like he couldn't get a woman for nothing. Nordic Bob, I call him. Yeah, that was Nordic Bob, man. He he was one of them kind of dudes that probably be on a channel. And before this was before there wasn't no Instagram. There might have been MySpace or something, maybe. It might have been before that, but there was no Instagram at that time, and there was no Facebook at that time. I don't believe. No, there wasn't no Facebook. Facebook was probably still coming into fruition with those guys. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. When did Facebook come out? Let me see when Facebook came out. Oh 04. Let me see. Hold on. Well, now it's Meta. So it came out established in oh 04 and renamed the Facebook in oh 05. Uh, yeah, it came out around. So this was definitely before. Yeah, this was absolutely. Yeah, January. It was founded January 4 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, 21 years ago. Yeah, Facebook was 2004, January 4, 2004. So yeah, nah, we wasn't using Facebook. MySpace came out. There might have been. Let me see when the MySpace come out. Trying to get a good timeline. MySpace came out August 1st, 2003. So this probably might have been before MySpace. Um, let's look up when Black Planet was coming out because I think Black Planet was still kind of popular. Black Planet came out 90. Uh, they said it was founded in 99, but came out in 99. Okay, but it was launched September 1st, 2001. So I remember. It said September 2001. I don't know why, but it seemed like I was using Black Planet in school. But I graduated June 2001, so maybe um yeah, if it got launched September, so yeah, 2001 it was then. But it seemed like when I was in school, you know what I'm saying? Like it just really seems like when I was in school, um, it seemed like to me that I was using it in school, but apparently not. Apparently not. If it came out in 2001, I was already out of school by that time. I graduated June 2001. So, um, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I guess maybe we were using. We must have been. I don't know. That's crazy. I get. I know for a fact that I was living at home around that time. So it's just something. It's just something I just had to kind of. Yeah. So, um, yeah. But I thought that was very interesting that guy did that. I thought it was very interesting, and you got a whole bunch of little dudes like that. They be doing all that garbage. But I just want to kind of tell that story, so I'm gonna go ahead and upload this for you guys, and I'll keep it going.